Are you looking for easy ways to catch stubborn summer bass in deeper water? Well, when the bass get deep, my go-to is a Carolina rig. Now, what is a Carolina rig? Well, it's quite simple. It is a sinker that is pegged up the line, and we'll get into how we do that, with a 12 to 18, some people go to 24, you probably don't need to do that, inch leader that leads to a soft plastic worm rig Texas style. You can also use all kinds of other soft plastics, and I encourage you to experiment with it. Let's talk about how I rig it. I think this is super easy and is perfect for those of you who are beginners trying to learn how to do this. So what I've got is a 1/2 ounce tungsten weight. I recommend a tungsten weight because it allows you to feel everything that is going on the bottom. I've got a bead on there, and just a little white bead. And that helps to provide a little bit of noise and also gives it a little bit of protection from. The coolest thing with Carolina rigs, this is a Carolina keeper. You literally can just squeeze this thing and change with your pliers and change the depth of the Carolina rig leader. And as soon as you unsqueeze it, it locks it in. So that is the easiest way to rig a Carolina rig and not have to worry about split shot or anything else. And if you need to retie, you can just slide it up the line. It's really helpful. Then I've got a 3/0 worm hook, straight shanked. Let me pull down here. So I've got a 3/0 worm hook, the bend there, straight shaft, and I've got a Zoom Super Salt Plus trick worm. The rod I'm using is a 7/3 medium heavy, extra fast with a 6/3 to 1 Shimano SLX 150 reel. You can go, as far as reel speed goes, you can go up to, an 8 if you need to, 7, it really just depends. I like the flexibility of the 6/3, so that's what I've got on this. For line, I've got 20-pound fluorocarbon tied with an improved clinch knot. Well, now that you know how to rig it and what type of equipment to use, I'll show you how to fish it. All right, so first step is casting. Now when you cast this, because the weight is up the line, you need to load it up. So I like to do like a sideways, sidearm, like load it way back here. Make sure that you're not, you're keeping that weight connected, and then you throw it forward. And ideally you're keeping that weight, so that the weight's not sliding way down the line and then shooting way out there. So that's how you know you're loading it properly. Now weight-wise, usually I'm fishing between a 1/4 ounce to a 1/2 ounce. Today I'm fishing a 1/2 ounce. It's 6 to 12 foot of water. I'm trying to figure out exactly how deep they are. And it's a little windy, so the 1/2 ounce lets me make sure that I keep the weight on the bottom. And that's the most important thing, is to make sure that you can keep in contact with the bottom. When do I like to use the Carolina rig? I like to use it anytime that I need to cover water. I know the fish are probably going to be out deep. So that's once the sun gets up and those fish have moved out of the shallows and are starting to stage up on the deeper water. And shallow water, right here, places I'm looking for are, easy access to deep water. It's like 30 foot of water, just, maybe 50 yards that way. And it comes up fast and goes into the shallows. So that's a great place for them to have access to the shallow water for feeding, hanging out in the deep water, and I'm just scanning this whole area. What you do when you fish it, throw it out there, let it sink to the bottom, and then you're just going to use your rod to drag it across the bottom, and you're feeling every single little bump. And you're keeping in contact with that weight, so you're reeling it down while keeping in contact with that weight, because you never know when a fish is going to hit it. And you're dragging it again. And what you're imagining is that weight's out in front, and that worm is up, floating behind it, and it keeps your worm connected to the bottom, but it puts it right up off the bottom so that it's right in our strike zone. So I like to use something that has a little bit of float to it, but it all depends on the fish's mood. Sometimes you can, if you hit something, you feel it, you can bounce it off of it, you can pop it off of it. That bullet weight should come through weeds really nicely. You can always just rip it off the weeds. It'll keep the worm pretty weedless behind it. The Carolina rig requires a special hook set, and I'll show you now, but basically what you do is, rather than setting the hook up, because of that long lead, when you feel that bite, you want to make a sweeping low hook set. So you're going to go right through here. So your rod's going to be up most likely or somewhere in this position, and then as soon as you get that bite, you're going to just sweep it sideways. That's where the sweeping hook set. Puts it in the corner, drives it right into the corner. So those are the basics of the Carolina rig. I encourage you to get it out, give it a try. Hope you liked this video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and check out some more of our videos by clicking right here. Thanks for watching.